What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we had a little problem with the audio and part of it got cut out. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I can still give you a voiceover and tell you guys what we are doing today. But first things first, we're going to be installing some LED fog lights. They're the SLF version of the Diode Dynamics. We're going to be installing some Rally Armor mud flaps. They have the nitrous blue logo on them. They're the same ones I had on my ST. On the package itself, it does say that it's for a Focus ST, but they are universal, so they can fit on the ST as well as the RS. And then last but not least, we're going to be installing some fog light tint. It's the yellow tint for the fog lights to give it more of the rally look. From factory, the fog lights on the RS are super dim. It kind of gives off a yellowish tone, but if anything, it's just a really sad yellow. So we're going to be switching that out for a bright yellow combined with the LED fog lights. So it's definitely going to change up the look of the car. So to get the fog light out, to change out the bulb, there's a little plastic bezel we got to take off first. What you want to do is get your fingers and put them underneath that center piece of plastic and give it a little pull. Not too hard because it is pretty fragile, just enough so it pops out. Alright, so we got that little bezel off. There's one screw on the very top left. We're going to get that out with the Torx. And then the right side of the fog light, there's going to be two little clips. You have to push the clips in towards the housing of the fog light, and then the whole entire housing itself will come out. So once you get it out, there's one clip on the back. We can take that off, and that will show us the back side of this fog light. Alright, so this is the Diode Dynamic fog light. Again, this is the SLF version LED. This is like the mid-grade, the ones you can get. There's a low, the medium, and then the highest one you can pay for. This is the medium one. In my opinion, this is perfect. It's super high quality. Everything's made out of metal, including that little ballast and the fins around it. The cord is super high quality and it's not going to bend, so I definitely recommend it. Alright, to get this out, just give it a little push in and twist, and then the OEM one will pop right out. Go ahead and grab your new LED. Get the little fins on it lined up. Same thing, give it a little push in and twist, and there you go. So I went ahead and cleaned the housing off before I put it back in so the new fog light tint can stick very well. So the same thing to get it in, just gotta plug it in and get all the wires tucked away nicely, and then push those little two tabs in on the side, and then push it in. And then once you get that last screw in, you can pop that bezel back on to get a little line up to where the fog light tint needs to go. As you can see right here, I am installing it. You want to make sure you get the fog light tint kind of in the center of everything. There's a little clear bezel around it. You kind of want to stay within just so there's no clear LED light shining through. Okay, so now we're moving on to the mud flaps. I'll be showing you guys where to exactly take out these little pins right in the wheel well right here. There's a couple pins back here we got to take out before we can put them on. The big ones right here go in the back, and then the little ones go in the front. I have everything kind of laid out just to see how it goes. I have the big screws up in the top and the little ones on the bottom, all the clips installed on them right now, just ready to go. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the wheel off, and I'll show you guys where exactly to install these. Right here we had a little problem. I went to jack the car up and the jack broke, so me and Ashley went to the store and we bought a new one. Alright, I just want to tell you guys real quick about these jacks. So the one from Harbor Freight we just bought is actually super high quality. It's the low pro, so it has a longer reach, and then it also has this little piece of plastic on it right here. And I believe it's for your pinch welds, so you don't bend the pinch welds out. Because our old one, at least, it had a little dent in it, it had a little indent, which really messed up the pinch welds. So I mean, for a Harbor Freight jack, I mean, you really can't go wrong. These things are actually really nice. Alright, so there's 3 little push pins right here we're going to be taking out with a little plastic pry tool. And then when we get that, we're going to peel it back and we can install these little plastic clips. And then when you put the mud flap on, that's what the screw actually screws into. Alright, so I went ahead and left this a little loose. I'm going to go ahead and step back there and try to get it lined up as perfectly as I can to be as straight with the wheel. And then I'm going to finish tightening them down with the screw gun, get them pretty tight, and then see how they look. Alright, so I showed you guys how to do one of the front mud flaps. I did the other front. I already did one of the rears, but now I'm going to show you guys how to actually install one of the rears. So I'm going to get the mud flap. The car is already jacked up. I already took the wheel off, so we're ready to go. So I'm going to get that last mud flap, and I will show you guys how to install it. Alrighty, so this is a little more complicated in the front. Nothing too crazy. Just a couple more steps we got to take. But I've been putting these little push pins in first to hold the bracket onto the mud flap, because it's going to be sitting in here like this, and it just prevents that little bracket from flapping around and moving while I'm trying to install it. But I'm going to go ahead and put these little push pins in. The fat one will go in the far side, just like this. And then the flat one goes on the other side, right here. Just like that. Now it's going to be held in place, so when we put it in the car, it's not going to be wiggling around. So first things first, we're going to get our ratchet. There's one screw here and one screw up in the top. You got to take these off, and we're not going to be reusing them. Now we got those off, and then if we look right behind here, behind this fender liner, there's another hole that's not being used. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this lined up so this doesn't move around. We're gonna find that hole right there. And we're gonna poke it through. So, cause we're gonna use that one, we're gonna put a little clip on the other side, and we're gonna reuse that one, so we gotta be able to get to it. Just like that. Now we have a new hole right here, and we're gonna use the top one and this bottom one. So before we put our clips in, we gotta peel this back one more time. And then there's old clips right here, and then one on the top. We gotta take them off really quick so we can put our new ones on. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and go back there just a little bit, make sure it's all straight, and then I'm going to tighten all these up. And there's the last one. And last but not least, all right, that's it guys. We have the new mud flaps installed, the new fog lights and the tints, and I threw in that license plate cover. It came with one of my shipments. But other than that, if you guys are interested and want these for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description so you can pick them up and put them on your Focus. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.